You know the old saying that defense wins championships? Was that proven tonight? As the Miami Hurricanes Cinderella run, a team that was in a battle that many people thought Notre Dame should get in over, going into the final week of the regular season. And the Miami Hurricanes pull away with a 24-14 victory. By the way, guys, you're going to hear pop, 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 pop most of the stream. We've got neighbors that are shooting fireworks right now. I'm at the girlfriend's house. But before we get into that, guys, every live show is brought to you by our good friends over at Frost Buddy. Going over to frostbuddy.com. Use the promo code SSS15 to get yourself 15% off of all coffee mugs, all tumblers, whatever it is, guys. Frost Buddy has the best products available for you guys to use and for you guys to take advantage of. Also want to thank our friends at Chike Nutrition. We have just under 3 hours to go just over 2 hours to go before the start of the new year. So take advantage of the new year with a new goal in mind. We all know that you have New Year's resolutions, so why not take advantage of it and use our friends at Chike Nutrition. Use their protein iced coffee, 20 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, and 1 gram of sugar for you to get off to a right start of your fitness journey. Okay, everybody do us a favor before we continue any further. Y'all hit the like and share button down below. Turn on the bell notifications so that you are notified every time we go live here on the Southern Sports Scene. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are the best. Hit the subscribe button down below so that you guys can support us and continue to help us grow as we approach just under 100 subscribers over the next couple of weeks. The biggest goal is to get to over 100 subscribers by the time we get to the month of February, by my birthday time, February 9th. So by February 9th, I want to get to 100 subscribers. That's the biggest goal right now as we stand today. I thought going into this football game, Ohio State 9.5-point favorites. I wasn't sure with what to expect in a football game like this. I knew what Miami did last week defensively. I thought that they were one of the best defensive lines in college football. I thought they proved it all year long. I thought with guys that really showed out. And by the way, I'm getting text messages and everything from here. Who expected a game like this? For your defense to dominate the way that they did, and for you to not really have much of an answer if you're Ohio State, guys, that's on you. That's a problem for you. So my question is now, where does Ohio State go from here? We'll get into that in just a few minutes. But I want to kind of break all of this down as we continue on. By the way, and like I mentioned, everybody was wanting for Notre Dame to get in over Miami because, they finished the season on a higher note. They had a wider margin of error. Guys, that's bullshit. Did Notre Dame beat the number 2 team in the nation? No. Does Notre Dame have a signature win? No. Miami looks better down the stretch. I was wrong about Miami. I wasn't sure if they could do it last week in College Station. I wasn't. I wasn't. Who realistically, if you're in the chat, who realistically thought that a team like Miami was going to have even remotely close to a chance at an upset? Remotely close. Me personally, I had zero faith in Miami. Zero. I didn't think they'd make it out of the first round, knowing what they had done recently offensively. I thought that they had put together decent drives, but I didn't think that they were going to be able to contend with a team like Ohio, like Texas A&M, who has had a much better offense and has looked like a true juggernaut at times. Well, I was wrong. In that department, they sacked Marcel Reed 7 times. You go into a game like this where the doubters are still raining down upon you, and you go in and you sack Julian Sayin 5 times. Julian Sayin before this football game, in fact, in the regular season, was sacked a total of, are you ready? 6 times. 6 times he was sacked in the regular season. And then in the Indiana and Miami games combined, he's been sacked 10 times. Miami has 12 sacks the last 2 games. What does that say about them? Should say a lot, man. That's absolutely insane. That defensive line looked incredible. When that kind of scared the piss out of me. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not even going to lie to you, man. That scared the piss out of me. But when you have guys like Ruben Bain on one side and Akeem Meisdor on the other, both of which have performed phenomenally. They performed incredibly. Guys, that first drive of the game where you have both guys on the right side, on the left side of the line of scrimmage. You have Ruben Bain in a wide 7, and you have Meisdor in a head up 5. What does that tell you? They put together a very good clinic in pass rush, especially the last 2 drives for Ruben Bain. Absolutely could have gotten himself 4, maybe 5 sacks tonight. Masterclass performance from Ruben. And look, I got to give my hats off to Corey Heatherman and that Miami defense. And the main talk is going to be about Jason Taylor tonight, who been waiting to, having been elevated by 23 by Cristobal to edge rushers coach, does some great work there. And then you bring in Damian Lewis as your defensive tackles coach. Guys, those 2 combined put together masterclass performances most of the season against damn good offensive lines. Do I think that Ohio State was a good offensive line in the regular season? Yes. Did the last 2 games expose who they were and who they faced in the regular season? Yes. Absolutely. And you can look at the stats for yourself. 10 sacks in the last 2 games. You got to be kidding me. Can't have moments like that, man. 843-350-2534 is the number to call if you guys want to get involved in the show. They were excited because the hotline just came open. 843-350-2534, 843-350-2534. is the number to call if you guys want to get involved in the show, man. We got a lot to talk about. All right. For Miami to establish themselves early on the line of scrimmage was going to be key for them to win this football game. For Ohio State, it was just doing what they had done all year long. You have a great second drive of the game after 2 3-and-outs from Miami and Ohio State combined. Miami went to work. You got Mark Fletcher involved. You spread the football around. Ohio State played off-ball defense quite a bit in this football game. I don't know why. I was shocked at what we were running and really stunned to see a team like Miami or a team like Ohio State do this. Why did Matt Patricia play off-ball defense? That could be a big reason why. But for you to have, I wouldn't necessarily say the momentum, but I would say more of the size and skill advantage at your side, that you wouldn't get physical with this receiving core and make them work for the yards that they got is beyond me. I couldn't believe it. Miami did a really good job of exposing that. They worked with what was in front of them, short underneath routes, working up the field. It's a great scheme by Shannon Dawson and the offensive unit as a whole. Did I think Carson Beck played great most of the time? I thought he showed he was tough. Did I think he played? Did I think he played all that great? Not really. Yeah. It's going to be like that most of the night, bro. So y'all get strapped the frick in. Are we done? Yeah. Well, that was crazy. I think we're good for the time being, though. But Miami established themselves early on up front, and they did a damn good job of doing so. Ohio State, I thought, got pushed around in the front seven, and I thought that they were better than that in the regular season. Now, do I think that they got better over the course of the game? Hell yeah. That's last drive before the half for Miami basically showed that. You know, you're able to force them out of field goal range when they're in a position to get those yards back and put another score up and go up 3 possessions before the end of the half. It was a great opportunity for Miami. Sonny Styles scrapes across and gets a massive tackle for loss. And you also have a big sack that puts Miami back all the way behind the chains, and they have to punt. It's a massive stop for Ohio State. And then in the second half, Ohio State, for the most part, was able to counter back. They owned the line of scrimmage early on. Even though you miss a field goal right at the end of it, it was a good start to the drive. But it's just missed opportunities like that is going to come back and haunt them. That's why Miami is not playing. That's why Miami is playing a week from today, and Ohio State season is over. Thought you did well running with Bo Jackson and establishing the line of scrimmage early on in the second half. You mixed it up with them and C.J. Donaldson. Mother may I. Tell you what, they love their freaking fireworks. Defense is able to bow up right as Miami is about to go in and possibly convert on third and 4, or on 3rd and 9. Sorry. Trying to lock in. That's the thing. You were able to do that. You force them to a field goal. Ohio State comes back on the last drive of the third quarter. You punch it in off of 4th and 2, where your two safeties come right in between the A and B and B gaps. It's read perfectly. Play action freezes them up for a short minute. Jeremiah Smith reads it, or Julian Sayin reads it, gets it across the middle to Jeremiah Smith, and he works his way up the middle across the field and cuts it to a 3-point football game. You force a punt. You manage to get it to Jeremiah. You have a sack, and you're able to get it back to Jeremiah Smith and get the first down. This is where I thought Ohio State lost the football game, though, is these penalties, which hurt you severely. Absolutely severely over. God dang. Penalties hurt Ohio State and killed their drives. You have a 4-yard gain or a 6-yard gain that's going to put Ohio State right on the edge of field goal range. Shit. And there's a holding call that backs them up 10. You have an incompletion trying to get it to Carnell Tate, and C.J. Donaldson then gets blown up for a loss of 2. And then Miami takes advantage of it. They manage to run out the clock. They run down the most of the clock. Mark Fletcher runs for 19 on the first play. Mark Fletcher runs for 4. Carson Beck runs for 3. Carson Beck for 5. Tawande Brown for 13. Brown for 1. Brown for 5. C.J. Daniels for 13. Brown for 2. Brown touchdown. Now, I know that they were just letting him score on that last drive, but that drive pretty much lost the game for Ohio State. Julian Sayin gets pressured by Marcel Lightfoot and Ruben Bain, and he throws an interception. Jacory Thomas with a massive interception. First year with the program, by the way. And he came from Middle Tennessee and Tennessee from last year. How much of a big impact did he make? Pretty massive one. What a way for the redshirt safety to go out with a massive victory for him. Can't ask for anything better from the redshirt senior. I thought he had a really damn good game today. I thought, I'm going to give you guys some stats before we wrap this one up. We'll be about 15 or so more minutes on this post game. Actually, I may end up going a good bit tonight. I'm not going to lie to you. Ohio State defensively was second defensively in third down percentage. Didn't allow a lot of third down conversions. Miami was 7 of 14 on third down tonight. They were one of the best offensively in third down conversions. Excuse me. Ohio State was the second best third down team on defense. They allowed for 7 of 14 from Miami. Ohio State offensively, Ohio State were they great on third down? I mean, upper half of that rank, they were 55th in third down conversions. So obviously they had their struggles at times in the season. They were 3 of 10 tonight. Last week, about a month ago, almost a month ago, against Indiana, they were 4 of 12 on third down. And they allowed for 6 of 13 on third down from Indiana too. So in 2 games combined, their opponents are 10 of 21 on third down, just under 50%, 47% on third down. Much different from what they were in the regular season. They were also 5th in time of possession. Miami outdid them. These were 2 of the best time of possession teams in college football. Miami was 6th. Ohio State was 5th. Miami controlled the football for 33 minutes compared to Ohio State's 26 minutes. Miami had drives in the first half, by the way, controlled it for about 12 minutes. Ohio State was on the field for 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Miami was on the field for 11 minutes and 20 seconds. In the first quarter alone, they would have a 13-play, 83-yard drive that took 8:04 off the clock. 8-play, 42-yard drive took off 3:52 off the clock. If they would have scored, it would have probably been a 5.5-minute drive. 5 plays, 20 yards, almost 3 minutes off the clock. 8 plays, 18 yards, 3 minutes off the 3:20 out, 6 off the clock. 6 plays, 14 yards, 3 minutes off the clock. 10 plays, 70 yards, 5 minutes off the clock. The shortest drives of the game was the first drive of the game where you have a 3-and-out, a kneel down at the end of the first half, and a kneel down at the end of the game. And those 3 drives alone ended up being a total 44 seconds. A minute 33 of every other drive that they had. So they had the football every drive for an average of between 4 and 5 minutes. That's what wins you football games. When you control the tempo of the football game, when you control the clock, you're going to win football games. Whoever won the time of possession would win the football game. Whoever won the turnover battle would win the football game. Ohio State with a critical interception at the end of the game. They would have a missed field goal. They would have a pick 6. Those little things kills any momentum that your offense is trying to bring. Guys, that third possession of the game, when you have the deep throw to Jeremiah Smith that goes for 59, the next two plays, sacked by Ruben Bain, and Keontae Scott has a pick six. It's what lost you the football game. Getting yourself behind the chains after big plays. That one play was 59 yards. Ohio State had 332 yards of offense. Almost 20% of their total offense came on that one damn play. One damn play. It's not going to win you football games, man. What did Ohio State's drives look like? You have three and out, lose 7. 16 yards, 53 yards, 24 yards, 1 yard, a missed field goal. That was Ohio State's first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is their first half drives. God, dog, those are loud. Punt, pick six, punt, missed field goal. They had 154 yards in the first half. Almost 40% of their total yards came on one play to Jeremiah Smith. Bless you. You're not on camera. You're good.
You're not?
No, you're not.
Are you?
Oops. Let me see what Jeremiah Smith had. $10, 59, 13. $10, 15, 13. Guys, Jeremiah Smith had over half of Ohio State's total yards in the first half. Why is he only being targeted? He had 1, 2, 3, 4 targets in that first half. Why are we not targeting him more? He ends up with 7 catches for $157. He had 3 for 82 in the first half. He's going off, and he's doing things that showcase why he's the best player in college football, and you're not giving him the rock in the second half. He had 4 catches in the second half. Guys, you had to get him at least 10 catches tonight. You got to get him out on the perimeter. You got to get him when it matters most. Carnell Tate, 3 catches for 37 yards. Oh, and by the way, 1 catch for 59. So if you take that away, 6 catches for just under 100 yards. Guys, why are we not feeding our number one playmaker the football? Why are we not feeding guys like Brandon Inniss that have been somewhat of X factors in this game? Why are we not feeding Carnell Tate the football? Where was he tonight? Where was he tonight? He's got to play a factor in this football game. But that Miami defense came out to play and absolutely dominated. They owned the line of scrimmage. They controlled the tempo of the football game. And they made their quarterback look incredible. But, guys, we'll have more of a breakdown of this later on. Friday, we will be live that evening. You guys have a great rest of the night. Y'all have a happy new year. We appreciate you guys always tuning in to us. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a great night. And y'all have